Tampa was a team I predicted to go to the Super Bowl to represent the NFC. I was a believer. I thought this was a great season for Baker. I thought they were going to put it together. I was worried about the defensive deficiencies, and clearly that's becoming an issue, but I thought they would overcome it. And early in the year, that's exactly what they were doing. They were firing on all cylinders. They looked like one of the best teams in the league, and they've kind of come back down to earth lately. They've lost, I think, 3 of their last 4, 2 of their last 3. Is it time to panic if you're Tampa Bay? I love Baker Mayfield. I love what the offense is doing, but it's clear at this point the defense kind of has become a problem. I've got a graphic I want to show you. This is just Tampa Bay's ranking, both offensively and defensively. Red's bottom 10 in the league, green is top 10. Total yards, 22nd defensively. Pass yards, 27th. They're a good rush defense, 10th. Points a game allowed, 22nd. Red zone defense, 25th. EPA defensively is good, that's 9th, but that doesn't matter if you're giving up points in the red zone and still giving up all these points. Now, as you can see, offensively, they are scoring a lot of points. But when you look at those rankings, I know these don't mean everything. I know the games aren't played on paper. But when your eyes have told you that the defense has started to be an issue and the injuries, both sides of the ball have kind of mounted up, you look at this and say, I just don't know if that's a team that can win the Super Bowl. Not discounting anything they've done, not discounting how talented I think they are. But when I had the aspirations for them to win a title, I really thought they could do that this year. And you see this game that they maybe are starting to get control of, get away from them, and they just let Josh Allen go beast mode and put up 44 on them. Pair that with the fact that, Bucky Irvin's still gone, have the injuries, Mike Evans offensively, and the defense continues to struggle. This illuminates the problem. When your main worry about a team pops up in one of their biggest games of the year and kind of causes them to lose, that gives you pause on how you view them going forward. Ultimately, I don't think they're talented enough or healthy enough to overcome the defense. Before we continue with the video, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Tell your friends about it. We're trying to grow this channel. Subscribe so you feel better about your sports takes. Back to the video. I think the defense is a deficiency at this point, and they try their best to navigate it, and they overcome it a lot of times. But I don't think they're going to be able to, if we're talking about them as a legit playoff threat, a legit championship threat. Could they win a playoff game? Absolutely. I just don't think they're going to be able to manage how poorly this defense plays at times, how many points they give up at times, because then you're just constantly getting in shootouts. And despite the offense, being top 10 in points a game, they're bad in the red zone. So their scoring's usually coming from off of big plays or outside of the red zone, 25th in the red zone, both offensively and defensively. So that just shows how inconsistent they are when they get in that condensed area of the field, because that's just not the way they operate. But on both sides of the ball, it's not kind of their philosophy. It's not how they like to attack. You saw a stat in the game today that they don't have a touchdown with a tight end. They have the fewest targets to tight ends. They just don't really use them. They're not that kind of football team. I think losing Bucky Irvin kind of takes a piece of their running game, even though Tucker had an incredible game today. I don't think that's something you're going to see week in and week out. And when you have all of these things that kind of put you in this spot, Tampa's game plan kind of ends up becoming, okay, Baker, can you go save us now? If you look at a lot of their wins or a lot of their close games, even like going back to, I think it was the Texans earlier this year, they're in a precarious situation and Baker makes a big play. Baker escapes a sack that he has no business escaping. He runs around, escapes a sack, throws it 30 yards downfield and converts a third down. Or he runs for the first down, or he finds Ikbuka. There's been a lot of moments this year where Baker has just somehow pulled a win out of his hat and kept the team alive. As we saw today, eventually that magic runs out. And that's kind of why I don't think they're a legitimate Super Bowl threat. Even though I picked them, I want them to be. Yeah, you can get it turned around, but I'm kind of at the point now, you guys might disagree. It's week 11. We're going into week 12 of the NFL season. You got what you got. I don't think anything drastic is going to be done in the building to change any team at this point. I'll talk about that more when we get into the Chiefs a little bit later in the show. This is kind of who you are. So you can mitigate your faults and try to, bring up the things you do well. And that's basic game plan of any NFL team. And the opponent's trying to do the opposite. So I think they're still a good team. I think they're going to win games. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. I just don't think this is a championship defense. And despite everyone talking about offense constantly nowadays and how much we want to see points and all of this, we've seen over and over again, you still have to have a really talented defense, if not a great defense, to win a championship. Tampa Bay is just not quite there. I think they could fix it in a year. Next year maybe so, but I would be surprised if they make a real Super Bowl run this season.